All right, here we go. What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Heavy Water 77. We are rolling through these solo albums pretty quickly and having a good time talking about them because, let's face it, I mean, a lot of these solo albums, I wouldn't say forgotten, but they're very lesser known. And today
Well,
we're
for
going to
good
be doing
reason.
today we're doing one of those. And before we do that, I'm going to introduce my co-host, Joseph Stubb. How you doing, dude?
Doing great. Dealing with snow up here. By the time this episode airs, it'll all be melted months ago, and it's a mess. It's a mess. I hate winter, but I love winter. So yeah,
I can take winter for like a day. I could take snow for like a day, and but after that, it gets to be a real fucking nuisance. So yeah,
I
I'm here
think
in Middle
with
Tennessee. We
yeah
get it. We get it. I don't know, one bad storm a year, maybe if that. But
yeah
other than
we
that, I can't complain.
with that big snow that we got in January. I think they said with how cold it was and with how little it melted for almost a month there, they said I think it set a record some places in PA for the amount of consecutive days with snow on the with at least an inch of snow on the ground. I think
Wow. The only cool
because
thing that I like,
it didn't get above 30 for like 3 weeks.
yeah, the only cool thing I like about like when it freezes, it fucking kills a lot of the bugs, which is cool. I don't mind that.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, I'm so over winter right now. It's freezing. It's like 18 degrees here right now. So fuck that. But anyway, we are doing Dennis's third
Third.
solo album, Boomchild, which I have. I got to be honest with you, I've never listened to this one. I don't even know. This is the first one, the first piece of physical media from Styx or their solos I do not own. However, I was looking on eBay before we started the show and I found a cassette for $4. So I bought it just so I can have something to do with it. CDs
There you
were
go.
like $40. I'm like,
Jeez.
and the albums were like 30, $35. I just wasn't spit. But I'll have
It's
a
certainly
cassette.
not worth that much money.
Yeah. I mean, anyway, Joe, what do you got in this album, man?
Again, like we've been doing the last couple of weeks, not that much. Surprisingly, something that I never thought would happen. Dennis DeYoung is no longer on A&M Records. I mean, what happened there? But we're over to MCA. Um, yeah, I mean, Sticks and A&M. I don't know, and we'll find out here coming up. They end up coming back to A&M Records when they reunite for Edge of the Century. But at this point, none of the members are on A&M Records anymore with their solo albums. Um, I guess just they hadn't had enough success that A&M kept them around. I don't know.
Hmm.
But Dennis is on MCA Records for this one. It was recorded in Chicago and LA, back and forth between the two. It was produced by Dennis and Alan Shacklock. I had never heard this gentleman's name before, but apparently I looked him up and he has some production credits on some pretty famous artists. I know he's worked with Meatloaf. He worked with I don't remember who else I saw that he worked with, but some pretty big named artists. But I had never heard his name before this. But he co-produced this with Dennis and played some keyboards, I think, on it as well. This album did not chart whatsoever, and none of the singles. I mean, there was only one single, and it didn't chart. So yeah, this album in 1989 hit with about as much of a whimper as you possibly could.
Right.
And I think this album is a big reason why what happened in 1990 happened. That I think they all kind of collectively realized, hey, this solar stuff ain't doing so hot
Yeah.
anymore. Let's, hey, can we be Sticks again? Well,
Yeah.
all of them except one. But so yeah, I mean, I don't know if we want to spoil it at the front, but I was actually kind of surprised about this album. I like you, I had never heard this album, but I was a little pleasantly surprised with this one. I think that even though it had pretty much no success, I think Dennis finally figured it out a little bit here. But we'll get to it when we get into the songs.
I'm actually with you. This is surprisingly a good album. It is. It's definitely his best, in my opinion. But we'll get to the tracks. I'm looking up this guy, Albert Allen Shacklock. He's worked with Meatloaf, The Alarm, The Look. I never heard of The Look before. I don't know who they are. Roger Daltrey of The Who, Sir Andrew Lloyd Webber, Bonnie Tyler, Jeff Beck, actually, too. And he's produced music for films, too. Quicksilver, Doc Hollywood, Buddy Song, La 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 La, yeah, a whole bunch of stuff. So yeah, this guy's got some credits to him. So good for him. But
And I think it helped Dennis a little bit when we get into some of these songs. I'll talk about it.
true. I mean, as I said earlier, this is definitely his best album. It's only 8 songs long. Lyrically, I think this album is much better. I think the lyrics are more thought of in a lot of these songs. I think the ballads are more heartfelt. But anyway, let's get into it before we give it way too much too early here. We'll start with the opening track, "Beneath the Moon," man.
All right. Well, this was the only single released from the album. Like I said, didn't do shit. But I actually think this was a really good choice for a single and a really good choice to open up the album. I think this is a really good pop song. Catchy chorus. The production is great. And I think that is what we've been kind of talking about the last two Dennis albums is that the production was really lopsided on some of this stuff that just Dennis couldn't get a consistent solid sound. And I think here finally, I mean, there's a song or two we'll talk about that I think the production still goes a little bit too far. I think there's some songs that Dennis might have had more of a hand in than Alan Shacklock did, but I think that at least on this song especially, the production is really good and it
Yeah.
sounds great. I really, really dug this song. Really good way to open up the album, in my opinion. I was kind of shocked when I press play on this. I was expecting more of what we've been getting, and I heard this song,
Yeah.
like, damn, this is actually pretty good.
Yeah. I'm with you, man. I actually really do. I love this song actually a lot. It's poppy, it's catchy, and in that perfect Dennis zone for a that slow to mid-tempo rocker type thing. I think vocally, really fucking good. I love his
Yeah.
vibrato and his voice on this one. I think it's, great. And the cool thing about it, it's got some great acoustic guitar playing. And one thing I noticed about this album too, there's a lot more Dennis playing piano on it, which I
Yes.
fucking love. And that's it's just like Tommy doing acoustic. That's what I want to hear a lot of. But yeah, this is a great start. I mean, when I heard this song, I was like, wow, let's hope the album continues this way. So we're off to a good start. The next song, "The Best Is Yet to Come."
Oh, is it really? I yeah. Then we're back to Dennis on this one. Unfortunately, I right from the beginning with the annoying keyboard opening, and I couldn't get into this one, man. Like the rhythm on like the vocals is kind of weird. It was
Mhm.
kind of like this is one of those cheesy Dennis songs. There's some cool parts to it. Um, but overall, I just did not dig this song at all. And just this is one where I think Dennis might have had a little bit more of a hand in the production on this one. I'm just not a fan of this one.
Okay. One thing that I've surrendered to is the fact you're going to get a lot of synths and a lot of keyboards on a Dennis DeYoung solo album. So, I accept that, and I'm trying to go with that in mind when I do this album. I mean, this song's okay. I still kind of like to see. We talked earlier. I can't remember what song it was. We talked about. I just want to see what Styx could have done with this song if JY and Tommy would have put their 2 cents in it. Um, yeah, I mean, it's a decent song. It's not the greatest song on the album. So I would get rid of that's a harmonica or keyboards. I don't know what that. I think it's
Yeah, I'm not sure
harmonica,
what it
right?
is.
It's just I don't know, weird sounding, and yeah, it's just I like it. I don't hate it. So we'll just be happy with that before I say something that some people will get on me about. But whoops, spilled the beans. All right, third song. What a way to go.
Yeah, this is another, I think, pretty good pop tune. I think that we're back towards more of like the first song, in my opinion. Um, I think this was catchy. It really grew on me as the song went on. It started, I'm like, okay, this is a decent pop tune, and then by the end of it, I'm like, okay, I really dug that one. I really do like this one. I think that this is another. I think Dennis is kind of finding his wheelhouse here.
Mhm.
He was really kind of, like we said, a little bit all over the place on the first two albums, and then he's really kind of settling down a little bit. I think here, and you can kind of hear in this song and some of the other stuff on this album a little bit of where Styx would go on Edge of the Century. I think.
My notes exactly, man. Yeah, it's a really nice song. It's that classic Dennis ballad to mid-tempo rocker, which he does. I said before, he does really well. Big keyboards, really nice chorus, some really cool electric guitar playing in this song too. By I can't remember the guy's name. Let me look here real quick. He's been with them since the beginning. Tom DiZialo. I know I'm pronouncing his name wrong, and I apologize for that. But I think he adds some really cool stuff to this song as far as guitar playing. I think the
Mhm.
song is well written. Again, uh, great changes in this song, and Dennis's vocals, man, are some of the best I've heard on any of his solo albums so far. But yeah, you're right, man. This is definitely going into Edge of the Century. I had that in my notes exactly. So good, great minds think alike. So yeah, we're off to a pretty good start so far. We really are. I mean, you didn't like the second song. I kind of liked it, so we're doing good so far. All right, let's end side one with Harry's Hands.
This one tore me a little bit because musically, this song is fantastic. I love everything about this song musically, production wise. There's some great playing on this. Dennis sounds great on it, but man, I just couldn't get with the lyrics. I think he was trying a little too hard lyrically on this
Yeah.
one. It like trying to like, oh, I'm gonna say something important. I'm gonna talk about the working man. I'm gonna kind of like it felt I just couldn't get with the lyrics, especially at the beginning, and it felt kind of the lyrics feel kind of dumb at the beginning, like he's trying too hard to be Bruce Springsteen or something, like saying something important, I guess. But it hurts because musically the song is so good, and I love everything of it. If this was an instrumental or if it had different lyrics, this might be one of my favorite Dennis DeYoung solo songs. But
Right.
man, I just couldn't get with a lot of the lyrics.
So yeah, I disagree with that. I like the lyrics. It kind of it set the mindset of what Chicago was going through at the time. It's just an average person he was trying to get, and I didn't mind him. I thought it was okay, and I agree with you. Musically, I think it's great. Um, I don't know if this is based off a real person. I don't think so. But it definitely, I kind of, I do like the story. So I don't have a problem with that. Um, I think he's really finding his mark lyrically with this album, as I said earlier. Um, yeah, it's a good tune. What else do I got on here? That's about it. Except it's a really, yeah, it's a different turn for Dennis. Like you said, he's trying to say important stuff instead of just the fun, goofy stuff or the, I love my wife type of stuff. But I'm okay with it. I don't think the story's bad at all. So I'm okay with it. So we'll leave it at
I
that.
think as it went on, it's not. The first verse I just wasn't a fan of. Like it just felt a little too like it felt a little too clunky lyrically. Like he's trying a
Mhm.
little too hard. Like I appreciate the sentiment of what he's doing. I completely agree with you there. But I just think like the lyrics just didn't quite work for me. Like it felt like Dennis isn't the kind of songwriter that does this kind of stuff, and you could kind of tell. And I think as the song went on, I think he kind of settled into it a little bit more. But the first verse is just kind of like, I don't know about the first verse.
All right. Well, let's go into we'll flip this sucker over and go to the title track, D to D D boom boom fish fillet or whatever he's saying. Boom child. What do you got on it?
Yeah, what a weird opener to this song. I mean, just making all those kind of scat noises and stuff, and I mean, in general, I think it's a really cool up tempo song, some great guitar work. But the beginning was a little weird. But in general, I think it's a pretty cool song. I dug this one. Uh, Spoiler alert: I'm not going to have a lot of great stuff to say about side two of this, but I think this is a great way to start side two.
Yeah, I'm with you. I really like this song, man. It's pretty cool. The beginning is kind of weird, but it is kind of Dennis in a weird way. It's
It's a very
Dennis,
Dennis.
yeah.
If I'll take that kind of weird Dennis over some of what we're about to get.
Yeah. And like I said, the keyboards are there. You're gonna get that in the Dennis DeYoung album. It's not the best song on the album, but I'll take it, man. Lyrically, I think it's cool. Again, as I said, Dennis's piano playing, I think, is some of the best he's played so far. And it's definitely probably the best since Paradise Theater because his keyboard playing wasn't the greatest. Well, he didn't play, it was just all synthesizer on Kilroy. But yeah, I mean, I'm good with this song, man. So we'll go to the next song with Who Shot Daddy?
Oh boy. Here we go. What the hell? um, uh, this is the other song on the album where I think the production just goes a little too far. I mean, it's smothered in Aerosmith horns. The fake keyboard horns. I checked the production. There's not a single real horn on this album. It's all
No, yeah.
keyboards, and you can tell. And it's smothered in it. And I think that I this one was hard to listen to for me. I probably didn't even give it as much attention as I probably should have, like lyrically and stuff, just because the type between the title and the production, I was just like, oh boy. And yeah, this is another one that I'm just not a fan of on this one. This is definitely a little bit of throwback to some of his earlier stuff.
Yeah, as I said a couple times already, the great one thing great about this album is I think the lyric writing is really good. But with that being said, yeah, I don't really like this song either. Don't like the way the chorus sounds. But hey, you know what? You know, this album's been great so far. We've been pretty critical of Dennis's solo stuff. It's okay, Dennis, for
Yeah,
one song that we don't
it
really like.
I was about to say if we get one song like this instead of a whole album like this, I'm fine.
Right. Plus, it's got that weird harmonica solo again, which I don't like. If it's a harmonica. Is it a real harmonica? Let me look here.
It might be keyboards at all. And just seeing how things have been going here, it might
Yeah,
be keyboards.
I'm not seeing a harmonica player, but I could be wrong. But there's a cool little musical instrumental break in it, which is okay. I dig that. But yeah, I can. This is definitely the first real song that I can do without on the album. I'm with you. But you know what, Dennis? I'll take it, buddy. You know what? I'm sure our opinion matters to you, but we're fans, man. Okay, give us a break. All right. Anyway, okay. I'm starting to fester up again here.
uh,
With rage. All right. Outside looking in again, man.
um, yeah, I mean, uh, of the kind of like mid-tempo poppy songs on the album, this one's probably my least favorite, but it's still a good tune. It's a little bit generic compared to some of the other stuff, especially stuff like Beneath the Moon or What a Way to Go. I think that this is a little bit more of a kind of mediocre version of those songs, but still decent. Again, compared to a lot of stuff we've covered so far from Dennis, I think that this is on the better end of that. So I dug it. It's not one of my favorite songs on the album, but I still dug it. Pretty cool tune.
Yeah, I'm with you. Again, it's a really nice slow to mid-tempo song that's in Dennis's song with that great chorus, man. The vocal, I think, is one of the better ones on the album, along with the first one. The lyric on this one is way above average. Like I said, I mean, of most of the songs in this album, I really like the lyrics in this song. Definitely getting the preview. Here's my time to say it. Definitely getting the preview of Edge of the Century. That's where I put it in. But yeah, I'll take it, man. It's got a really good, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Production. I'm not saying production. A good I don't know, a good feel about the song. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
in that Dennis zone. When Dennis is really in the zone, he's fucking awesome in my opinion. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, good song. And then we'll end this album with "Won't Go Wasted," the only song that was co-written by somebody else, Rob Friedman.
Mm-hmm.
What do you got on it?
I, I don't know if I necessarily my critique is of the song itself or the placement. It feels weird that this is the song that ends the album. I feel like you could have, like we've talked about a couple times on this show. I feel like you could have maybe moved some of the songs around to make it flow a little bit better because it feels weird because this is really the only out and out ballad on the album. Like this is the only really full on slow tempo ballad, and it feels weird that it's what ends the album. Like it just doesn't feel like a satisfying end, and I think that might have negatively impacted my view of the song itself because I don't think it's a bad song at all. I think it's a pretty good ballad. I mean, again, if we're comparing it back, it's not Desert Moon, but I feel like it for a Dennis ballad, I think it's a pretty solid Dennis ballad. I think that just the fact that it's what closes the album maybe negatively impacted my view of it a little bit. Um, I would have been interested to see what I would think of this song if it was somewhere else on the album. I am happy that this is the only ballad on the album, like this kind of ballad, because as we know, Dennis sometimes goes a little ballad heavy, but I think that it's a weird choice to close the album, and I think that might have maybe had an impact on how I feel about the song itself.
Yeah, my notes are, look, Dennis is a master ballad writer, and that could be good or bad. I mean, I rate his ballads on a scale from Desert Moon to First Time. With Desert Moon being the best and First Time being one of the worst. And this song, I don't know, just kind of leans on the First Time spectrum. It's okay. It's really glossy. It's overindulgent. I don't know what the word I'm looking for. I'm just not a fan of this song, and the placement is so weird. You're absolutely right. Um, but yeah, I mean, what you said about this being the only true ballad is, uh, kind of good for Dennis Young album because usually you're saturated with them. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of this song. Very fluffy. Not a fan of it. But anyway, well, that is our quick review of Boomchild. Let me see if I can find some notes on this. It's hard to
As
find
I say,
anything.
this is a very short album.
Man,
Like it's surprisingly
MCA,
short.
yeah, recorded by MCA, la la la. I can't really find anything. I think some of these musicians he's used for his last three albums.
I think it is there. I think it's a lot of pretty consistent. I think the guy,
Yeah,
one of the guys on keyboards he's had for a while.
yeah,
Um, I think it's a pretty consistent group of musicians he's had with him. Which I mean, if you know Dennis today, he's had pretty much the same group of
yeah,
musicians with him for a decent amount of time now. So I think he's good about keeping a lot of the same people around him for better or for worse.
right.
I think as we'll talk about when we get to his more modern solo albums, I think it's definitely for the better. Um, this around this time, I don't know if maybe some of those people were kind of feeding in some of his maybe thoughts on what his music should sound like, or if they just weren't really giving any input at all. Just okay, we're playing. That's it.
Yeah.
I think that as we'll see when we get to his more modern stuff, I think that the band members he has right now definitely had a lot more of a hand creatively in his music than they did in
Mhm.
the 80s.
Right. My final word on this one, I think it's a very solid album, man. I think it's definitely his best so far. And I would actually probably put this above JY City Slicker. It's the best solo album so far. I know that's a
Wow.
hard plus one, but there's some songs on here that I really love. Like Beneath the Moon, I think is an incredible song. Um,
I, I,
let's say it's a tie.
I'd probably put this second to City Slicker.
Yeah. It's
City Slicker, I think,
it's
is the best that we've done. This is probably second.
okay.
I might say I don't. I'm not sure which Tommy album would come third because I really haven't liked any of them.
Yeah.
But I think the Tommy albums are better than the Dennis albums, and then we'll see what we get with the next JY album.
Yeah. Looking forward to it. So I hope you all enjoyed this show. Thank you again for subscribing, comments, and everything else you can give us. We really appreciate that. So, Joe, thanks again, brother, and we will
Yeah.
see you for the next show. So take care, everybody. Rock on.